Hello and welcome to the World Climbing Club and Show 2 from Fukuoka, Japan. This, as we said before, is a pretty unique event, a mixed team format. And on today's show, we're going to be looking at the boulder and paraclimbing competitions and a few things a little bit extra. So let's start with boulder. But first of all, how on earth does it work? So for today's boulder competition, let's have a look at the format and rules. In boulder qualifying, the two highest ranked teams will skip the next elimination heat and move straight to finals. There are 5 boulders in each round, 2 for the men, 2 for the women, and 1 mixed boulder. Similar to lead, the athletes' individual scores are added up, and then the 4 athletes' scores are combined for a total. After the athletes have climbed the men and women's boulder, the coaches will select 1 man and 1 woman from the team to take on the 5th and final mixed boulder. As with lead, the athletes can watch each other climb and there is no isolation. So who do you send out first? Which athletes will the coaches pick to climb that mixed route? It's all in the details. The qualification round saw the top 2 teams move forward into the finals, leaving everyone else to fight it out in the next boulder elimination round. Team Japan have the strongest team on paper for boulder, and they did cruise through. Although a lot of people had South Korea as the second favourite, it was Israel who put in a great performance to guarantee their final spot. In the boulder elimination round, things were tight. Getting zones proved to be vital, and Team Canada and Australia missed a few of those 10-point opportunities, leaving them in a shaky position coming into the final mixed climb. That points deficit proved to be too much, and despite tops, Australia and Canada are knocked out, although Canada were heartbreakingly close. South Korea pulled out all the stops, and with a total score of 219.8, almost a perfect round, they move forward in first. Team USA will join them in the final, 189.2, beating Canada's 183.4. In a minute, we're going to show you the results from the boulder finals. But first of all, I want to introduce you to a very special person, Kobe, Vice President of the IFSC, and a man who I usually see handing out medals on stage. But of course, your job is much bigger than that. First of all, I know you're from Japan.
Yes.
How excited are you that this competition has come here?
It is my great honor as a Japanese, the return of the international IFSC event here in Japan. It's a huge, how can I say, emotion I could feel. Yep.
And hopefully, of course, we've all got our fingers crossed that the World Cup might come back to Japan in the future.
Sure.
But I wanted to talk to you about the format here. Why have you guys decided to go for this mixed gender, mixed team idea?
There are several reasons about why we try to do it happen in Japan in this occasion. The first important thing is I think we seem to be very successful because in LA we succeeded to put in our 3 single discipline, boulder, lead, speed, all in Olympic game. What is the next? we have to do another, challenge for the another level. Likely, maybe another kind of the boulder format, maybe another, format. But the mixed gender team format is one of those. I strongly believe there are reasons because when I see the situation of the other Olympic sports, I recognize in Tokyo and in Paris, you can see remarkable increase of the number of the team mixed gender format, even in the individual, discipline. So why not? That is quite simple. And also, it's very, very interesting that normally each best individual athletes are rewarded too much. But sometimes I feel to reward something for our member national federation or national team was missing. I really would like to provide some kind of the rewards to those who participate this event together.
Okay, but it's really good to understand and hear that. And I, for one, have absolutely loved this format, and I hope you guys have too. In fact, comment down below and let us know what you think. Okay, without further ado, the finals boulders are behind us. Let's see which team wins. It was all to play for the finals, with 5 new boulders for the athletes and of course that mixed boulder at the end. The coaches played a major part in this competition, giving beta, helping and of course selecting which athletes should climb on that mixed boulder. An interesting new dynamic.
That was pretty special, this whole experience here. Yeah, that was cool.
Team USA were looking a little tired as they came onto the mats to start their boulder comp, their athletes having competed in every round so far. Although there were zones along the way, tops were hard to find. Zoe Yi, the standout of the team, flashing the power boulder too. Her teammate, Declan Osgood, only dropped 2 attempts on his way to climbing the mixed slab, but eventually 89.6 left them in 4th. There was a back and forth between Israel and South Korea for podium places. South Korea started stronger, with Cheon-so mantling her way through the tricky move on women's 1, while the 2 Israeli women struggled with only zones. Meanwhile, on M1, Do-hyun Lee flashed it in some style, but so did Israel's Saadi Bark. M2, and Israel's Oren Prihed stepped up to the plate and delivered for his team with a fantastic left-hand palm save of the last move to flash the climb. Pressure on South Korea, and they felt it. Neither Do-hyun Lee or Yi-jun Chon could unlock the last move. For the women on women's 2, both teams delivered, with double flashes for everyone. Coming into the last climb, there was just 0.2 between the teams. Both Oren Prihed and Do-hyun Lee sent the climbs quickly. The big difference was Cheon-so. Although she couldn't finish it, her zone was vital, and South Korea pulled ahead to take the silver and Israel bronze. Team Japan were out for revenge after just missing out on gold in lead, and they carried real fire into the boulder finals. Boulder 1 was a masterclass for all genders. Sota and Sarato getting flashes, as did Miho and Mao. The perfect 50 points, and they were looking unstoppable at that stage. There was, however, a little wobble for the men on the techie foot sequence heavy Boulder 2. Sota Amagasa especially took a few goes to get the zone and looked relieved when he did. However, the women's double flashes meant that Japan had an unassailable lead coming into the final climb. So let's watch their victory lap as Sarato and Raku and Mao Nakamura climbed that last boulder.
Instead of jumping off your left foot and staying a little more square to the wall, which you're seeing Sarato do right now.
Well, Serato puts that little smile behind him. He gets it done in just one failed attempt.
Looking so good there. You see, like, just getting into that position, almost no hands, and then kind of catching that hand as an afterthought almost.
Right foot, as you said.
Goes for the right foot again.
Yeah, it's done, isn't it?
He's able to stick it.
Well, Japan with 216.6 win the competition by some margin eventually. Some revenge for last night's silver medal. They wanted to win the lead. So with Boulder and Lead done, we turn our attention to paraclimbing. And this is the first time that an IFSC paraclimbing event has come to Japan. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come and maybe some World Cups in the future. Now, although this is a competition, it's working more like an exhibition. So during qualifying, it was a working session of the routes. So in the finals, the athletes have already tried what they're about to climb. Now there is, as you'd expect, a heavy emphasis on Japanese athletes here, although there is a USA and an Indian athlete here as well. And the categories work a little bit differently from a World Cup. They've been split into two groups based on World Cup ability. So Group A about 6C to 7A and Group B about 7B to 7C. Medals are awarded, of course, but this is more about showing off the sport and how amazing our athletes are. Right, let's check out the comp.
The exhibition was a fantastic display of climbing ability from our athletes as they went head-to-head against two tricky routes. It was fascinating to see the different impairments climb together, and of course, medals were on the line. The route setting was perfect, allowing for some fierce fights up on the wall. From campus climbing to visually impaired athletes, it was an exciting finals. On Route A, Japan's Hiromi Aoki, who is in the B1 and visually impaired, had a great climb, getting up to the head wall where she finally was stopped by a big move and fell for bronze. Silver went to Japan's Mika Mayoka, climbing in B3. Those holds got small up on that head wall, and the last sequence required delicate footwork. She was so close to the top, but had to settle for the silver. So gold, and another climber in the visually impaired group, Junichi Fujisaku in B2. Let's see how he did it.
One move away, stretches over. Is this going to be our first top? There it is, needs to match it. Yes, there it goes. So that is a top the maximum score. So guaranteed at least the silver medal here.
The difficulty was ramped up on the right-hand side of the wall. In AL2 and with a lower limb impairment was Shuhei Yuki. He flicked and powered his way through to bronze. Silver was RP3's Kazuhuki Yamashita, who dealt with a neurological and physiological impairment. Despite the route being steep, he used all of his core strength and got to the last move. A final desperate throw, not enough for the top, leaving the door open for our last climber. So, Shingo Kurosawa was out last, and what a performance from him.
Right at the very top, head wall, the crowd starts to cheer. Trying to stay silent, but also it's such an exciting moment this as he searches for the left foot. Can he possibly get this? Yes, he's got a thumb in. Just the thumb to cling, and then turning those fingers into a crimp. But this match is pretty hideous, and he's going to readjust here and lock off the thumb. Crosses onto the right jib with those fingers. Creeps himself up, stretching. Just about on the sloper, yes. And now, dot of friction. He finds the dot of friction, setting himself well for this last jump. Might come down to time here. He moves to 45. Finds the last hold. Can he match it? needs this foot press. Working hard, he does do it, and that should be the gold medal for him. We saw it from Kazuhiko, who left the door a little bit open by that last move, and it has come back to bite him. He moves down to silver, and Shingu, the man to talk about this at this event, gets the gold medal. What a performance from him.
At the end of the paraclimbing exhibition, we had another kind of show. The athletes coming together on a long traverse route across the boulder wall. It was another chance for the teams to get together in a slightly less stressful environment and share a few last moments on the wall together. A great showcase of their talents as we say goodbye to the wonderful IFSC Masters event in Fukuoka. What a show! Congratulations to all the teams and athletes who took part. We hope to return to Japan in the future, and who knows, maybe these formats will develop for other competitions.